to tell me what country that might be?
It reminds me of Canada.
Kind of?
France.
Yeah. France. Is this the French flag?
Yes, yes it is.
Yes, it is.
They stole our colors. Knew them.
Actually, red, white, and blue kind of came. Ah. So here are some French words and phrases that you might be familiar with. Excusez-moi. Probably heard it.
Excuse me, moi was on the movie Planes.
Yeah. Yeah. Soup du jour.
No.
Soup of the day. Yeah, there's apartments above it. And faux. You've probably heard faux.
Yeah.
Faux fashion style. You know, like, oh, it's faux Italian leather. Faux. And I was like, how can it be fake?
So does that mean it's real?
And then you've heard words like treasury, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just think in your head real quick. What images come to mind when you think of France?
French fries.
The mustache.
The mustache. Maybe big giant loaf of French fries. Crepes.
French bread.
I think of the guy from Ricky Bobby.
Actually, I almost put him in here. I almost slid him in here, and I was like, no. Because he's actually British. I'm playing a French guy. I think that might have insulted something. You gotta have a good sense of humor.
What's with mustaches?
You
Yeah.
might, if you think about it, you might think of this, right?
I can make it.
What's this?
Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower, right?
Nobody
Probably
really
what
tells
comes to
us
mind.
Well, when I think of the Eiffel Tower, it makes me think of
The
this.
video, and they had
The Taj Mahal.
how the queen would have people come in because she'd have different doors when the king wasn't paying attention to her. Yeah, I remember.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it. But
This is the French Rococo style, which is very ornate, and the color, if you guys notice, they're only really using, what, 2 colors?
They like yellow and brown a lot.
They like pastels, you know, which are some of the whites, and then the brown is the floor. That's a hardwood floor.
Just
And gold. Gold is very repeated throughout the style.
so, just to make sure that I don't sound like an idiot. I
Right.
have to use this. Aren't those stools there? Didn't people come in and watch the rehearsals?
Yes, they should. We have people who are like 9. Oh, I need a glass of water. Well, here, I'll get it for you, my lady.
Or if somebody
Yeah.
tried to assassinate you while you were sleeping.
Yeah, that didn't happen very often. It's more of a thing you see in movies. People that did get assassinated, a lot of them had kind of a jerk personality. So if you're kind of a jerk, people aren't going to look out for you. But here is an outward, like a full 3D panorama of the Palace of Versailles. Remember I said that this, there's another one on the other side of the building, and that Louis could actually sail his ships all the way there.
Yeah.
He didn't like to travel by ox cart or horse carriage that often. He kind of liked to do his own thing. He liked to travel with style. You notice how, if you've got all this stuff out here, it takes a lot of manpower, doesn't it? Okay, next slide. Well, it's kind of fuzzy, but you get an idea. The gardens are very, very well manicured.
This house kind of reminds me of the one in front of Reading City Hall.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Reading City Hall. In fact, I don't know why human beings are fascinated by fountains. It's like, well, we have a big fancy building, so let's put a fountain there.
Let's put a fountain in the fountain.
Yeah. I went to Sacramento State, right by the library. The library has like this clock tower on the back side of it. And as you walk by, they had this huge fountain. And it would be going like all times of the year. Don't ask me why we had a fountain in the middle of a concrete quad that looked like a bunch of ugly buildings. It wasn't very well kept or well maintained. here is a aerial view. It's fuzzy once again, my bad. But you kind of get an idea. This covers several hundred acres. And it's all for the glory of the king, who was, of course, given his rights by God, right? Or so they thought. So here's an interior view. You look at all these panels, they have framework around them. All this area here has got trim work. A lot of it is done in plaster or hand-carved wood. And nowadays that's gold paint. But in some cases, if you wanted to show off how wealthy you were, you'd do it in gold leaf, which I can imagine gold leaf in those days took forever to make. And was very expensive to apply to your trim work. So here's a close-up. A lot of this is plaster. The plaster, anyone know what plaster is?
Plaster?
Plaster's just
It's
stuff
the
on the walls, right?
Like if there's a hole.
Water, there's a chemical reaction just like concrete. So if you mix the right amount of water, you'll get something that's pliable like clay or Play-Doh, and you can make things out of it. My great-grandpa worked in plaster work, and my grandpa and my dad. So the Nelson side of the family has got lots of people who work in plaster. And that didn't mean they get plastered. Anyone? Well, the plaster work is tough. It's I had an uncle, which is my grandpa's brother, actually made a lot of ornate artwork. And if you paint it while it's wet, that's what a fresco is, and that's what the Romans would do. And here is French bedroom style. So as you can see, everything's very well manicured, very orderly, at the same time very opulent.
It looks like twins sleep in that room.
Yeah, this is the twin bed thing. Here's some of the furniture. You notice it's kind of crazy with the design. So I can imagine just carving that would take forever.
Looks like it's something that will chase you down in the middle of the night if it was like a haunted house.
Yeah, they didn't really want to go with natural lines. They wanted things looping and curving and going different directions. It's supposed to be pleasing to the eye when you look at it. And you'll see, like, I don't know why, but this became kind of a fashion thing. After World War II, a lot of women would buy fancy furniture for their living room because now they can afford it. And here are some French chairs, very decorative, of course. There's a French handbag. That's actually covered in beads. So yeah. This is what they would use as a couch. My aunt had one similar to this. Antique couch. This was a close-up of the plaster work. You see there's a lot of swirls and detail that goes into it. And actually, if you have... So this is French clothing style. Of course, it's way overdone, right? Kind of just been letting it simmer and letting it build up on you guys. If you look on the first page of your worksheet, we have members of the First Estate. Well, let's fill this out together. I'm going to put just 3 little columns here on the whiteboard. Okay, First Estate. My note page, sorry. It's an abbreviated population. They are, you have bishops,
No.
priests, cardinals. Yeah, in France they are all Catholic. So in parentheses you can put Catholic. So here's the kicker. They own 10% of the land. Guess how much they paid in taxes?
Like barely nothing.
You would be right if you said nothing.
Just like nowadays.
In fact, in France, the Catholic Church had a history of not. So if the church had a huge complex that they built something around, it was theirs, and they could say what goes on there and what happens. And that piece of property was almost like a sovereign country. So they were the ones in charge of what happened there. So something happened. Okay, the second estate. And who do you think makes up the
They
second
do.
estate? Maybe?
The middle class.
Too higher.
The
The slightly high middle class people.
What's it?
people who hold all the mortgages.
Bankers?
That's what I got.
No, I was about to say bankers.
Nobility. So kings, dukes. Now, this is where we get the word count. Count of Monte Cristo. Count Dracula. Different country. And then in Sesame Street we have the count. What does he do? He counts.
Are you talking about from Sesame Street?
Yes.
One, two,
Ooh.
No, he goes
three.
1, 2, It takes him forever to get to like 10.
Now the nobility.
We did that show.
They controlled most of the money and property in France. When you contrast that with England, the English had more of a history of democracy. And they had a parliament that met, and they would tell the king, no, not a good idea, you can't do that. Sometimes there were wars over things like that. Because the king was like, you can't tell me what to do. Right?
I'm the king.
I'm the king. But in France, they had no such tradition. The king's law was the law. They didn't have assemblies that met regularly like a parliament.
So it's kind of like Egypt. Pharaohs.
Yeah, and all the rich people were in charge, and everybody else just kind of does what they're supposed to do.
So it's kind of like
Wait, how
the
do they
king's
own
law is the
10%
law,
of the
for the
land?
law, by the law, and if you break the law, you get killed. The law.
Never mind, it is right.
You're
After I said it, I realized, never mind.